Back at LSU from 2007 to 2010, and of course was part of a national championship team in 2008. He was at the festivities earlier this year on field when they honored that team, and it was great to see him there. Baseball, was an outstanding pitcher, part of a national championship team at LSU there in 2009 as well. A real rarity. Drafted by the New York Giants in the NFL, by the Houston Astros, Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Brewers in Major League Baseball. Of course, LSU in football 9-3 now, after being A&M 45-21, and just on a personal note, it's great to see him. He's healthy, he's good, he's smiling, he's a really fine young man, and want to recognize his dad, who's a great friend of mine for many years too. We're both real young since we graduated high school the same year. Al Jones of St. Augustine, who's with us today as well. With that, please give a warm welcome to Chad Jones. Chad?
How you doing? Once again, I'm Chad Jones. Just great to be here in front of another group of once again, just great to be in front of a group of Louisiana fellow mates. As an ex-athlete myself, and I'm looking at some high school players in here. Just cherish the moment, because you never know when it's going to be over. I was in a bad car wreck, literally about a mile up the street, right on Carrollton, kind of slowed my football career down. But I got everything out of my football career I could ever ask for. Just like saying just past now, with me being a college World Series baseball championship, NCAA football championship, and also being a part of the Super Bowl 2012 New York Giants Super Bowl. I feel like if I'm not one of the only athletes to ever have these 3 rings in the history of sports, so it just feels great to be able to have that honor. So I got everything out of my football career, also my athletic career. But like I said, my dad being over at St. Augustine, which was supposed to be my alma mater, but due to Hurricane Katrina, was moved to Baton Rouge and finished up over at Southern Lab. We were also that day was supposed to be playing against Warren Easton, to start off our jamboree, which got canceled due to Hurricane Katrina. So, but yeah, like I said, it's just a great honor just to be in front of you guys, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but with my career, I just cherish so much, and I remember my last high school game, that's the only championship that I've never won, which meant the most to me, I played for my school, I played for my brother, I played for my dad, I played for ex-members of St. Augustine, ex-members of Southern Lab, that's kind of how I got to where I was. I didn't want to play, which I hear about a lot of these guys now, being number 1 in the state, being number 1 in the district, I'm planning to go to this school. When I was young, I couldn't even think like that. I just wanted to gain the respect of my peers, gain the respect of people that was left and the right of me, and show that I deserved to be on the field at a young age. So you just cherish, like I said, just cherish the moment, guys and girls. Soccer player, my girlfriend went to Santa Clara and played with Julie Ertz, who's on the USA team. So I was at the chance to go to their wedding, so I have a little connection to soccer that way. But yeah, but definitely, like I said, just cherish the moment. Like I said, it's no better place to come from Louisiana, to play from Louisiana sports. Because once you play Louisiana sports, you can play and go and navigate anywhere and be successful in your life. Like I said, it's just an honor to be here, and just an honor to talk to some fellow Louisiana people, that's deep in the sports and have deep roots in the sports. And like I said, I don't want to take too much time because I can have a long-winded conversation about my athletic career, but I just take some questions if there's anything that wants to be asked.
How was the experience of going back, being honored with the 2018?
2000, man, it was a great honor. I'm going back and seeing those guys, Matt Flynn, seeing Glenn Dorsey, seeing those big dogs, what we call big dogs. Like I said, when I came in 2007, I was a big time recruit. I was number 1 recruiter coming out of Louisiana. I was the number 1 athlete coming out of the country. But when I walked on the field, my first day practicing, I remember in 2007, it was a totally different feeling. I just wanted to be a part. I wanted to show that I deserved. With me coming in and replacing LaRon Landry, which was at the time the biggest safety that ever came through LSU. It was just a great honor to be on the field with these guys, and Tyson Jackson. I can just throw names out there. Craig Stelch. And that's the guy who was in my ear every game. I was getting all my information. Another Catholic League guy. He was one of the smartest safeties I've ever played with. I look up to him. I admire him as a safety himself, Craig Stelz. I said with that, just being on the field with those kind of guys, it was just great camaraderie, they accepted me at a young age, and I just had to feel as if I just needed to deserve and be on that field. And seeing those guys again 10 years later, it was like we just all played again yesterday. You know, we all were just like 17, 18, 19-year-old kids just climbing around. You know, we all sat in the same area at the game. We all went to the same hangout spot after. You know, just the same old guys. You know, it was just awesome being around these people.
Hey, Chad. I met you a few. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I met you a few years ago
remember your face.
through John Moran
There
when
you
you
go.
had some things.
Yes, sir.
And knowing what you went through and seeing you at that point, and then I was doing something at Rummel when I'm sure I was officiating something, and you had your little tryout day. And I remember Ed being over there with other, and just to see you progress. What do you relate that to? Is it faith? Is it your intensity or intestinal fortitude? Or
Great question. Like I said, it's so many things that was involved. You know, I guess it comes, you know, to go back to, you know, to my dad. You know, just more so how I came up and how I grew up, coming from too much of nothing, you know, but having to fight and grind for whatever we had. And it's just the feeling in your heart. You know, once you just feel that you belong to something and you know it's something that you want, you know, there's nothing that can kind of slow you down. I felt that I deserved to be an athlete. I felt that I could be on the next level. I felt that I could still do it. I still felt it in my head. I still felt it in my heart, even though that my leg wasn't feeling the same exact way. But I was willing to push myself to the max as far as whatever I can do. You know, and I think you're talking about when I had the baseball tryouts in Rummel. You know, and that was about I say about like 2 months before I kind of shut down my football career down, and I put the word that I was going to be getting back into baseball. I had about 5 or 6 scouts, and just seeing those 5 or 6 scouts, you know, I just got back into total athlete mode. You know, it got me from high school to college to my professional career. You know, and I kind of showed out that day, and you know, was able to get drafted in the 9th round by the Cincinnati Reds with 6 years being out of baseball. You know, so yeah, like I said, it was just being determined. You know, just coming where I come from, and you know, just being a certain type of player that I am, you know, myself, like I said, because it was nothing was too much or never for me. You know, I just wanted to belong. Like I said, my brother was a huge athlete. In my opinion, was the most dominant defensive tackle ever come through Louisiana football. Chuck said I played for him, played for my brother, played for my school, played with people that was around me. You know, like I said, it wasn't too much about me. I was a given person. You know, I just wanted to be accepted, belonged, you know, to as far as an athlete that came from New Orleans. And like I said, there was a lot of commotion going at the time in the media, a lot of people pulling for me. I said I just didn't want to let anybody down. So going, like I said, with John Moorhan over at Southern Orthopedics, over on Napoleon, they do a great job. Just to throw that out there. But yeah, just wanted to show everybody and prove everybody that I was able. You know, I wasn't handicapped. I was healthy enough, and it actually turned out to be a great thing for me to be able to get back in professional sports. Like, who we had one over here?
Thoroughly enjoyed your career. What are you doing now?
I'm just finished up my career. Actually, I'm in the 2016, moving back in Baton Rouge. I'm going to be getting back in school and see if there's any opportunities for me to be able to get on that coaching staff, help out mentorship-wise over with the football team next year. So looking forward to that opportunity.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So coaching is in your future? Is that what you're looking to do?
Like I said, I'm open up to any ideas. Like I said, might not have to be just coaching, but like I said, as far as mentorship, you know, I've just been through a lot of my life, and in my short period of time, like I said, I just made 29. You know, and I still feel just as young as you. You know, like I said, just be able to get into the mix and hang out with the fellas and do all of that. You know, so I'm saying just still being in contact and being in touch with myself and being in touch with the youth. Like I said, a mentorship role would be awesome for me. I would love to kind of reach out and give back.
Chad, over here, Coach O and some of the players have said that they're building a championship caliber program.
Yes.
Again, your thoughts on that? Do you think they're right?
My first practice I went back to was during the Alabama week this past year, and going on and seeing those guys, and I just kind of remember the type of recruits. I was the last year of what we say a Nick Saban recruit before he moved on and kind of got taken over by Les Miles. So I remember the type of recruits that they were bringing in, the type of guys, type of caliber guys, you know, size with speed. You know, but as far as just my personal standpoint, you know, seeing how the athletes are over there, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that they're right on it right now, but yes, they are rebuilding. They are closer. They are getting those scholar athletes. They are getting those high-end athletes that are from around the country. I like to just see that they be able to not let as many of these high-end guys leave the state of Louisiana. That's just me personally, because that's what was going on when I was there, and I kind of thought that brought the camaraderie, that brought guys that was a little bit closer. They wanted to play with each other a little bit more. it kind of cut out the individualism, on the team. But like I said, Ed Ogeron is a great guy. He sat in my house coming to recruit me. He got a great relationship with me and my dad, and I have a great relationship with him. But he's surrounding himself with a great coaching staff. Especially over there, Corey Raymond. Corey Raymond was my GA as a DB, and he's over there, the head coach of the DBs, head guy over the DBs now. So I'm saying he's getting a lot of great coaches around. He's just trying to find that perfect mixture, to be able to get ourselves, to that national championship. If we would have never lost that early game to Mississippi State and that fluke game to Troy, I think the season would be a totally different. So I'm saying we see how the Tigers have been within these last 5 or 6 games. And they have the opportunity, they have the talent, they have the camaraderie to be able to be at that national championship playoff level. So, but I think they're doing a great job over there, and I don't think that they're far off at all. I think within these next year or two, if we can get us a young quarterback to probably drive us there, I think that Brennan guy is going to be a pretty good guy. Getting his feet wet this year as a true freshman. I think we can make some noise next year.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, I appreciate y'all taking the time to get me out.